Welcome back to Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel, and I'm your host, Fam the Fabulous. For more ideas, inspiration, swaps, and challenges, click the link in the description below to join our craft community, the Maker Exchange, on Facebook. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the Lovely Lab. So now, I'm just coming on today, so I'm hoping that you guys can go ahead and pull out some of your crafty bits so you can craft along with me. Today I'm going to attempt to, it'll be my first time, add some stitching. Well, it'll be my first time on camera, but attempt to add some stitching to some of the elements that I've created for the prayer journal, the junk journal that I made for a friend. I'm still working on it. I'm slowly getting through it, but I've tried to make sure that I reserve certain parts for doing it on camera so that you guys can do it along with me. And if you have any questions or comments or any advice, you can drop it in the comments. So if you haven't already seen any of the previous videos, I'll drop a link below, or you'll see it up at the top on the right hand side, the corner. The first couple videos were just choosing papers. Well, actually, no, I think I chose papers off camera, but I chose some papers, and then there was a video where I stamped with different stamps to kind of bring the theme together. And then on camera, I made some journaling cards, as well as some clusters and some belly bands. So today, I've already loaded up my sewing machine. I have the Brother, it's the LX2763. It doesn't have that many stitches. I think it has like 24 or 25, but I just loaded it up with the white thread, and I am going to go through and the ones that I can use the white thread on, those are the ones that I'm going to go ahead and add some stitching on. So I tried it out on, let's see, there's one that I've already done, and it came out rather cute. Of course, I wouldn't be able to find it immediately. You think I would have pulled that out before here we go. So I did this one already, and I liked the stitch. I liked the way it came out, and I think there was another one. And it just adds a little bit more interest if you ask me. So I'm going to use this same stitch on a couple more journal cards and maybe a belly band or two, and then I'll switch up the stitch if I can, and add some more stitching on some more. So just follow along with me. Now, let's see, I'm going to try this one, and I'm just going to go along one of the edges. I don't like to do all around it, just because sometimes it's just a little bit overboard. So, did y'all notice I painted my nails? Now, I know this may not look like much, but by the way, this nail polish came compliments of Tam from Bible Journaling on a Budget. So, Tam, if you're watching, thank you so much. I think it looks nice, but y'all should have saw my fingernails before I put that polish on. Oh my goodness. So this past weekend, our church, and yeah, I'm going to put the sewing machine on, so it's going to be a little bit loud, but bear with me anyway. So my church had they participated in Founders Day here in our local community. So we set up a booth, okay, and in the booth they did like a pumpkin dipping. And what they did was they had a container with water in it, and for each small little pumpkin we added, the kids had the opportunity to pick out 2 different color nail polishes. So we dropped a few little drops of nail polish in, and then we would dip the pumpkin and then dip it again. So a couple hours of this, my hands were a hot mess. I don't know how the young lady who was doing it before me, her name is Madison. I don't know how Madison managed to do it without her hands looking like she had been through the war, but I couldn't get that stuff off for days. But anyways, we have fun, and the kids loved it. And then the next day, that was on a Saturday, so the next day was church, and I was surprised to see so many of the kids that had come to the Founders Day. They were there, so I was really excited. We had like an overflow in our classroom. We actually had to have a few of our volunteers stay over into the second service just to help out in some of the classrooms, and they're troopers, you know, they're kind like that. And so they helped out, and the kids had a good time. And then the kids who are normal, regular members of the church, they enjoyed, you know, spending time with some new faces. And I really do hope to see them back come next Sunday. So be in prayer for those kids who don't have a church home. May they find one, and may they join ours, you know. I remember growing up as a kid, I would go to church each Sunday with my aunt and her husband. And for me, that was a very important part of my week. Knowing that there was, you know, people in the church that was praying for me as I was going through difficult times as a teen. Because, you know, teens, they have their own problems between the drama and the testing and the college and all of the things that they go through. You know, it's good to know that you have someone that is there in your corner wanting to make sure that you make it out of each of your little battles, and feel as though you have a place, you know. And I always felt as though I belonged at church, no matter what was going on at school or any place else in the world. I always felt like I belonged at church. So it's an important part of my life as a kid, weekly church service, and the relationships that I built with different members in our church community. And to this day, I mean, I am 40 plus, and some of these people, they have gone on to, you know, their kids have had kids, and I maintain contact with them as they move across the country, and as we've graduated from high school and college and things like that. And so, you know, it was an important part of my life as a kid, going to church each week. So I can only pray that the kids that stopped in on Sunday, that experience would help to serve as a foundation for the similar things that I experienced as a kid. And also got into a lot of trouble at church too, because when I was growing up, you know, you didn't chew gum in church and eat candy in service like the kids do. We drink coffee inside of the sanctuary at my church, so we wouldn't have gotten in trouble back then. Anywho, moving right along. And both of my grandmothers went to the same church. They went to a Pentecostal church, and I don't know the difference between Baptist or Pentecostal, because the church that I belonged to did not have a denomination. But I will tell you one thing I remember. Those ushers, they kept some serious order in that church, let me tell you. They had the hand signals, they had the marches, you know, they had eye contact. Those uniforms was pressed to the T. Those hairstyles was, my bobbin came out. I'm going to have to switch colors now. Their hair was coiffed to perfection. Those women didn't play. When usher came in front of you and she put her hand out in front of your face, that meant spit out whatever is in your mouth. And you should only hope that your mother or your father or whoever, whatever adult you came with, was not made privy to that little incident. Because, honey, when you got home, it'd be a totally different story. You ain't going to embarrass this family. Anyways, but that was my grandmother's churches. My grandmother's church, because they, like I said, they went to the same church. Both my mother's mother and my father's mother. And so anyways, church was a big part of my upbringing, and gratefully so. And I think I want to say that had I not had those experiences, had I not had been introduced to Christ at a young age, I probably wouldn't be here today, because without giving away too much of my history, if I died tomorrow, let's say I would die with no regrets, because I've done my share of living. Okay. All right, I'm gonna try, you know what, let me test this this bobbin on this paper. Let me get that to catch and bring it on up. All right, I hope you guys are still with me. All right, let's see. Okay, it looks like it's working all right. Sometimes when I thread the bobbin, something gets stuck up in there, or it's not set right, or I forget something, and it'll get stuck, and then I'll get frustrated, and I'll put the whole thing up because I'm like, I ain't got time for this. So hopefully everything is working right now. Let me try it on here. So anyways, what have you guys been up to? What projects are you working on? I know I've been working on this journal, it seems like forever. And I do plan to be done with it sooner than later. I want to be able to give this as a Christmas gift, amongst other things to give. But I also wanted to make her a piece of jewelry. I was thinking jewelry and journals, they go pretty well together, wouldn't you say? I think that's fine on just that side. All right, I'm not going to do it on this because I prefer white on here. But let me find a couple of this will be fine. This will be perfect. And then I think I'm going to do a couple of these, and then I'm going to change up the stitch. I'll go, no, I'm not going to do that one. That one's not, I'm looking for some contrasting colors. We'll do this one. I actually really like this stitch. It's decorative enough, but it's not too busy. I know there's a thread cutter on the side, y'all. But it pulls the paper when I pull it out that way, so I'm trying to prevent that from happening. And how would I know that? Oh, just trust me. Learn from experience. All right, so I'm going to see if there is another stitch. Let's see. I wish I could swing my camera around this way, but heaven knows that if I swing around that way, it might not go back. All right, so there's a busy stitch. It's stitch number 26. Let us see. Okay, that's up. All right, let's see what that's going to look like. When we're done, I'll show you all of the ones that we just completed. I said we. Isn't it funny when people say we, like you guys have the sewing machine out and what have you. All right, let's see what this is looking like. Oh, this one's busy. All right, so I'm going to try that. See that? It looks like it doubles the thread up too. Yeah. I'm going to do that on this and this. That's already busy though. Most of them are. Oh, let's try it on this one. Yeah. Prayerfully this will go okay. Did I just lose the thread? I did, of course. Oh, good Lord. All right. Nothing to see here, folks. Why is this wobbly? Don't mind me. It just seems awfully wobbly. which means it'll wobble the camera. So if it's wobbling the camera, guys, I apologize. I am no tech expert here, and certainly no expert videographer. You know, next life. We'll get to that in the next life, guys. Let's try it on a smaller one, and that way, if we don't like it, no harm, no foul. Alright. This thing's awfully busy. Now, and when I'm done, what I plan to do is just put a little glue on the back to keep the thread in place. Alright, so that's cute. Alright, I'll show you guys the rest of them at the end. Okay, and no. Yeah. Why not? Right? Put that under there. So anyways, now another thing that I'm going to be working on, and you'll probably see in the next video, is some faux stamps, because I'm in a faux stamp swap. It's postage stamps now, and that swap is going on the Facebook group Junk Journal Buddies, and that group was founded by Liz of Liz for a Day here on YouTube. So there's a few of them going on. I just finished up the napkin swap, and the previous video you guys saw that in there. And then I think I'm gonna do it on here, one of these I should say. And then so I just finished up that swap, and then I'm going to work on the postage stamps. I also have another swap, but I'm not going to do that on camera because I'm not saying it's not that interesting, but I think I have to think more about it just to make it look presentable than I want to spend time putting it together on camera. So stay tuned, because some of those things will be featured on video. Okay? Okay, and we are almost partly through. I think I'll do this edge here. That'll be cute. I like this one because it seems kind of monotoned, you know. See what I mean? It adds texture without actually adding the color. I'm not going to do that one or this one. I'm going to do those in white. This isn't really my favorite, but I guess I should put some type of stitch on it. Yeah, I think I need a wider stitch on this. And a wider stitch on these. If I'm going to do them in this color. So let's try, let's try stitch 22 on the LX. I said LX like it's a Lexus, you know, the LX 2763. And we are 18 minutes in. I'm going to try and stop this around 20-25 minutes, guys. All right, let's see what this stitch. Ooh, look at that. That's cute. Oh, that's really cute. Check it out. This stitch right here. All right, let's get busy. Let's get busy, guys. All right. Let me bring this out a little further. Now, this is my first time actually trying any of these stitches because if I'm being honest, I had to go on YouTube. No, I had to Google how, because I didn't feel like pulling out my owner's manual for the sewing machine. I had to go on Google to find out how to change the stitches to these. These are called stretch stitches. You could barely see that, but if it was in white, it would be pretty. Anyways, I think they're called stretch stitches. So, I'm gonna need a different color. But let me add that stitch to one with contrast, like this one. Okay, yep, there we go. And these are, I'm gonna have to reserve for like a red or a black or something like that. And I ain't gonna hold y'all here with that part of the process. But anyways, so it's called a stretch stitch, and well, they're called stretch stitches. And it's my first time using them, because I'll be honest with you, I haven't, I've used the sewing machine to sew clothes with, but nothing that required a stretch stitch. Nothing that required a stretch stitch, guys. Oh, that's cute. That is really cute. All right, let me move that out of the way. I don't want to bore you guys. I'll put one down here. Be a nice contrast. I think I'm going to do this on an angle. Yeah, like that. I don't know why that's wobbly. That's trying to drive me nuts. Okay. My next video, I will be putting laces in the book. Oh, that is so pretty. Okay, let me stop showing y'all because I ain't done here. I'm not done here. And I think I'm going to go halfway into the flowers on this one. I said halfway. That was not halfway. But y'all not holding me to that, right? All right, now we're going to have to figure out which of these is our favorite stitch, right? All right, we'll go up the side of this, and then we're going to call it a day, because I need to put that, I need to put color on the rest of it. For this to be such an inexpensive machine, which I think when I had priced it, it was around $75 or $80, or it might have been $100, I don't know. It's a couple years ago. It does what it's supposed to do, which I'm honestly just pleased about. Now let's see. I'm gonna have to go over this. I'm gonna leave this how it is, and then I'm gonna go over this with paper and stop right there just to fix that. We'll figure it out. All right, so let's take a look at what we've done thus far, folks. If you're still there, I appreciate it. Okay, so when I'm done with all of these, I'll have to, like I said, I will, let's pull this up a little bit. When I'm done with all of these, I will go ahead and just glue the back, a little bit of glue, just a tiny drop of glue on the back, and a little smidge on the front, and that'll hold the stitch in place. If you guys have another tip on how to keep it in place, and I'm using Eileen's tacky glue. I know I've seen some type of Fabri-Tac or something like that, but I'm going to use Eileen's tacky glue. So here we have with this one. I think that's a really pretty stitch. It kind of reminds me of like wheat, you know. And then this is the one that I did before we started. Here's another one with the beigeish colored thread. Here's the family one. I really like that. It's not a contrast. I could have put white on that, but I like the way it blends, kind of like how it would look on a pair of denim jeans. And then we have that one. And then this is the one that I did on a diagonal. This will actually go into the pocket like that. Here's a few of the clusters. That one you can barely see, but it's there. I should have went down the side, which I think I'm going to do right now. It's going to be a bit much, but the reason why I say that is because that circle is made out, it's a vellum circle, and when I put it down, when I didn't totally secure, I'm not confident that it's going to stay down. So I knew that I could always, put a stitch on top of it and keep it in place. So there we have that one. And then we have this one with the different stitch. I didn't use that stitch too many times. Oh, we can do it like that. And then we have one of the belly bands. Another journal card or tuck. That's cute. Another cluster. And that's Josh in the back talking about stupid AI. Now, if you're not familiar with what an AI is, that's artificial intelligence. And so I'm sure the AI has just won against him on his Xbox. So forgive him for his lack of empathy towards AI, but from the sounds of it, we probably should be sympathizing with him since he lost. Anyways, guys, so thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Come back for more junk journaling, haul, upcycle, recycle, the stuff that I do here on this channel. And if you are interested in any of the swaps, check out Junk Journal Buddies on Facebook. I'll have a link below. And until we're back here again on YouTube, you know the story, guys. Stay encouraged, stay blessed, and stay creative in crafting. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to join the crafting community and be sure to click the bell for notifications of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Now stay tuned for more from Livie'S Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel. Bye for now.